Hey, what's Mm-mm. I was sick. I'm delirious. I forgot I have an intro song now. What's up? It's your girl G. It's Thirsty Thursday, which also means it's another live night for Light with G podcast. It's your favorite baby mama in the building, the Puerto Rican podcast princess, and we have JR.
It's high noon.
Hey people, how you doing? You already know what time it is. A bunch of love to everybody out there on this Thursday. G loves you. I love you. We all love you. If nobody told you that, then you heard it from us. And please don't send nudes.
Thank you for the disclaimer, JR. And we have a special guest with us here tonight, an award-winning relationship coach. Miss Maya, introduce yourself, please.
Yes, hello everyone. Thank you for having me on the show tonight. So my name is Maya Dajon, and I'm a relationship coach that specializes in helping people recover from relationship trauma. I'm so happy to be here today.
I love that. How long have you been doing that, by the way?
For the last 5 years, and I expanded into also getting my degree in clinical psychology so I can really
Okay.
zero in and focus on the trauma side. So I just
Yeah.
expanded.
Okay, I love that. I love your energy. She looks beautiful tonight. Everybody who's joining in, who's watching, don't forget to like and share the episode. If you haven't already joined the family, what the fuck are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. We're getting into it tonight. Listen, Tuesday's live was a little triggering. There was a whole gender war that was going on in the chat, so I do expect y'all to tap back into that live chat. It's a little empty. I'm gonna wait on y'all for a little bit. But yeah, it triggered a lot of people. And the one thing that kept coming up was accountability. I think we talked more about accountability than we did crashing out that night. Um, Maya, what's your definition as far as relationship goes? What does that really look like in terms of being accountable?
Being accountable when it comes to relationships for me is simply being able to say when you're wrong. And when someone brings something to your attention, to be able to look at yourself, take a rewind and reset, and see if there's
Mm,
anything that they talked about or said to you that you can be held accountable for. And you can say, well, yes, I noticed that. No, I did it. Or is there a way you can help me to show me how I can improve on this? To me, that's what
mhm.
accountability is about.
Okay. JR, is that something that you feel like you struggle with, or do you feel like you're good with accountability?
I struggle with it all the time. I don't think anything's really my fault. I think that you can always use a cop out. What? What? Do you not want to be? I'm
I
honest.
feel like you're being extremely honest. You're actually being very honest about that.
Yeah, I use it as a cop out. When I sit there and I do something that I probably knew better, but I still do it anyway, I say, well, I felt that way. So if my feelings are valid, then what I did was valid. And I don't take accountability for it because I don't take accountability for how they felt about it, even though I probably knew what was going to happen. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm just,
I
gee,
Before we get too deep into it, I don't know why my brain just went there, but Maya, is accountability always necessarily used in like a negative sense, or is there like such a thing as like positive accountability? Like maybe you did something and it was valid and you're just being accountable for it, or is that not really a thing?
Well, for me, accountability is always positive. I've never looked at it as being
Hmm.
negative
Okay.
because you're standing firm in your truth and, recognizing what it is that you personally did that could have affected someone, whether it was intentional or unintentional.
I
thank
like
you.
that. Accountability is positive. You just said you're never accountable, JR.
So
Yeah.
he's not taking accountability at all.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
I know that. I'm just saying that I still believe in what she's saying. I'm just not going to, I choose not to do that. Do I
right.
know I'm wrong? Probably so. Because I'm not
Oh
going to
my
take accountability of
goodness.
that neither. But will I choose to do something else? Yes. And I feel like it's for my best interest to not be wrong in a way that I'm the position of being a leader, you know?
Of
Or should
course.
I change that? Like, again, Maya, think about it real quick because I know you thought about it. If I'm with a woman and she chose me to be the leader of the relationship, because I would assume she wants a leader in a relationship. She chose me
Hmm.
to be the leader. Me being wrong can cause her to not trust me anymore. It could cause her to think she can't depend on me anymore. Even though they could be true, I don't want her to act in that thought process.
Well, I hope you're being sarcastic. That's all I can say about that because you can't be a leader if you can't be accountable.
Mm.
Interesting. I thought leading was about producing results. I didn't think it had to do with making sure they felt good after I got the results.
A true leader doesn't make you feel used, abused, or disrespected.
Mm.
Damn, that's actually too deep. I have no rebuttal for
Can
that. That's actually really
I
good,
have a
man.
comeback for that? Perfect. I can
That's
get to
actually
the
really good.
comments. What's up? What's up, Ramses? He said here, thank you for tapping into the live chat. I'm still waiting on the rest of y'all. I know you coming. Ramses said JR is 22. His frontal lobe isn't fully developed, so he can't be held accountable. Damn. Damn, Ramses. I like that. She said in order to be a leader, you would have to be accountable. I would agree to that.
No, that's a fact though.
100%.
But I think that's probably the problem then, don't you think? That a lot of these men want to be leaders or they're picked to be leaders, but we lack some accountability a lot of the times. And I didn't think
Yeah.
about that being a problem.
Yeah,
Damn.
because if you can't hold yourself accountable for what you do, how are you supposed to lead others? Because leaders are able to say, this is what I've done in the past that worked, didn't work. And, they're able to be transparent and upfront. How are
Damn.
you supposed to lead people in the right direction when you can't even, when you think you're perfect all the time? Like, you do no wrong, and that's a dead goal. It's not reality.
Mm.
See, I think it's because we know we did wrong, so we like it's like an accountability in our mind, but it's like we do feel like we're going to be treated differently if it's out loud. Does that make sense? Like
I
we're
She
mean,
afraid of the
laughing at you. She's
repercussions.
laughing at you. You're not, you're full of shit. That's what that means.
Well, I'm
You're full
saying
of shit.
like if that's a problem, it could be that they're afraid of the repercussions of their actions. So of course, they just don't want to take the accountability of it because they feel like it might change the way they're viewed.
I mean, that makes sense. People who are in positions of power often don't like to be wrong because they feel if they're seen as making a mistake or being wrong, then people won't look up to them anymore. But the thing is that the reality is that everyone messes up sometimes and no one's perfect. So if you put on a front, who's going to respect you?
That's true, but I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we just have so much pressure sometimes in our relationships to where we have to be Superman. Like we have to show that we're damn near perfect. I feel like that pressure's just there a lot of the times, and it causes us to make these type of mistakes to where we don't take accountability because we're afraid of the repercussions.
Right. And so if you're with a woman who wants you to be perfect, then what kind of relationship is that? Because a real woman will be able to say, I appreciate you for apologizing. And I mean, she's going to appreciate your flaws as well as all of your benefits, your good and bad. I
Mm.
mean, if she really loves you, she's going to love you for who you are, flaws and all.
You know what? I can agree. I can agree with
I
that.
like that.
I fold.
I think everyone, men and women, need to stop the illusion of perfection. You shouldn't expect your partner to be perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
I think people are so quick to like get up and leave. And also, JR, I'm confused. Why would men not want to be accountable when y'all complain that women never take accountability? So if two plus two is four, why are you gonna ask for something y'all don't want to dish out?
it's not that we don't want to be accountable. It's just that when we are accountable, it's a risk of looking a certain way you don't want to look. A lot of men start off really strong. We know we've heard those complaints before. Oh, he's not finishing the way he started. He started too strong. Now he can't live up to it. Those things really happen. So instead of taking the
Mm.
accountability of like, yeah, I wanted to show you my best so then you can accept me. Like a lot of times they don't want to take that accountability. They just rather be like you a gold digger, you use me and all this other stuff. That really happens. So I'm just saying you're right, but we take accountability of like the failure of the relationship after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Women don't take accountability in a lot of different aspects I'm not gonna say women. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say some women actually, because I was about to say something else, but it was I don't think it was gonna sound right. So some women, they don't take accountability on some aspects though. But I think it could change. I believe in change.
Well, I have a question for you, Maya. In your work, I'm assuming you do like therapy for couples then, so you're able to see like both parties in the same visit sometimes and hear about their relationship.
Yeah, so I would say I'm focused more on my coaching side rather than, yes, I do both, but I'm focused
Okay.
more on the coaching side. So when
Okay.
I work with couples as a coach, yes, I do work with them. What were
Okay.
you question, I guess, what you going to
Okay,
say?
perfect. So my question is in your line of work, your experience, have you noticed that one gender over the other really stresses the other party taking accountability?
I do notice what JR said actually. In my experience, I notice a lot of the times that um, the women seem to not really take as much accountability as the men.
Mm.
And the example would be, I would say a lot of women say that they expect their male partner to know what it is they're thinking and feeling. They often say like, "Why wouldn't he know this? He should know this already." And then when I bring it to their attention, well, how can he read your mind? Why would you expect this? It's like a blank stare. Like they can't believe that.
Wow.
Like they
Wow.
can't read your mind. It's like, "Oh, he should have known how and why. Why should he have known?"
Right. And I was gonna ask, so when they have that blank stare, do they ever come to a place of recognition of like, okay, this is why I have this unrealistic expectation, or do they not even ever pick up on it at all?
Well, yeah, I hold them accountable for that. So
Perfect.
then when I bring it to their attention and I hold them accountable, and then the light bulb goes off, they're like, "Oh, okay, wow,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't look at it like that."
Yeah.
I think that
I
comes from a
I'm not.
respect point though. I only feel like if they respect you, they can be held accountable, right? So I used to always say this, right? Because when women go to like the therapy or they go to different, when they find help, it's like
Mhm.
you have to show your credentials, and those credentials will give that woman the sense of I respect the journey you went through, so I know you're knowledgeable on the situation, so I can
Mhm.
respect what you have to say. I just see it as like they don't it's like they don't see that same way when it comes to their man, only in that specific of the woman, of that like example y'all just used. It's like they don't want to take the accountability or hear it or be held to be accountable because they don't
Mhm.
respect that man. And I actually always thought of it that way. Do you think it's a respect problem?
I feel it's yes and no. I agree and disagree. So I feel whoever is in front of them, whoever is the person who is actually leading, like, so even if I was a male coach and they were coming to me for the relationship issues, I feel the woman would still, if it was brought to their attention, they would be like, "Oh wow, I didn't look at it like that." So I agree with what you're saying. So it's more so the fact that the authority figure in the room who actually has the knowledge is standing and bringing you to this accountability,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like, wow, I didn't know. Well, obviously you would know because you have the background, you have the knowledge, you have the degree, right? So yes, they are seeing it that way. And also at the same time, another reason why a lot of women, in my opinion, or what I've noticed, don't seem to want to take that accountability is because there's some unhealed trauma or what's the word I'm looking for? There is this resentment. That's the word. They have resentment
Mm.
against their partner. It's unhealed resentment, and they didn't come to terms with it. So that's where the respect that you're talking about, JR, because they don't respect them? Yeah, because they're upset about something and they're not talking about it. So it's this resentment, underlining resentment.
They lack communication. I get it. You're right. You're
I
Mhm.
right.
I feel like I avoid accountability sometimes because of my ego or like I don't want to be perceived negatively. You know what I'm saying?
Wait,
I
Mhm.
in
think
what factor? How does that work?
well well because I feel like in my previous relationships I didn't really have that much space to mess up because they were always messing up. So I always got to yell at them and fuss at them, and I got to be the good one, right? And then when you get into like a healthy talking phase or like a healthy relationship, I
Mhm.
realize, oh shit, G's not that perfect. So when I fuck up, I'd be like, oh no, I didn't. And I don't want to, I liked being the better partner. And that's kind of fucked up, but that's really where my lack of accountability came from. I hate being like, I'm sorry. I hate it.
I think
And I
that's
mean, that's
good.
so
I like that.
it's normal for everyone to feel that way sometimes.
Okay, so then all right. Well, then I'm normal. I'm not toxic. They love
You're
to say
you're
I'm
not
toxic.
normal.
I,
You're not normal. Let's just point that. Gee, you're not normal. you're
I think that's very normal to not do it out of. Would that be ego or pride or both?
Yeah, it's
yeah
ego, and it could be
Okay.
some pride as well, a little of both.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yeah, I
And
mean,
I'm
the
a.
thing is, if you're used to always being the one who's like the quote unquote good partner, and then
Mm-hmm,
now you're with someone who actually is mature, then yeah,
mm-hmm.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm not that good. I'm not a little angel like
See,
I
I
thought I
think that's
was.
just code word for you respect him more. When you say a man's mature, I think that's just code word for you respect his authority. So then, of course, you're
Well,
going to take
there's
more
a reason.
accountability.
And there's a reason why you respect his authority because he's mature.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. It
Which
all
is
feeds into
respect.
each other. It all feeds into it. I do want to tap in with the comments really quickly. Welcome in, Rachel. She says she's about to call him on all his bullshit, right? And she's got this calm demeanor and she's still going to call him on his bullshit. I can feel it too. Ramses said you can only truly lead through adversity, and that starts with accountability. I second that. DJ
Mhm.
Gregory, what's good? Welcome in. Brr, 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 brr. You don't want to talk shit today, DJ? He said, you're. Ramses said, self sabotage. I don't. Who? Culture junkie. Culture junkie, what's good? Y'all, y'all know Culture. Culture was all over season 3. Welcome back. He said, so when it comes to getting relationship advice slash coaching or even therapy for that matter, which holds more weight, a person who has a ton of credentials or a person who has a ton of experience?
Ooh.
I'll let you answer that
Good
question.
question. Number one, I don't give advice. That part.
Mm,
I don't give advice.
clock it.
As a therapist, I don't give advice. As a coach, I don't give advice. Why? Because advice leads to codependency.
Lawsuits. Oh.
I don't want you that too.
Oh.
That too. But the thing is that if I'm giving you advice about what to do in your relationship, the next time you guys have a disagreement, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what are we gonna do? Because Maya's not here. No, I
Yeah.
don't give advice. I give tools, I give resources, and I hold you accountable. That's what I
Mm.
do.
That sounds like
That's what I
bad
get.
business. It sounds like I don't know. I think I just like if they come back for another session, I get paid. I guess you're right. You're a
It
good
can't be
person.
bad business when she's an award winning
Well, not her.
relationship coach.
Not her.
Clock it.
I'm just talking about
Clock
if I had
it.
to think about it that way, it's like that means you really care about the person and not like from a financial gain standpoint. And I think that's really
Hmm.
commendable. Like that's actually beautiful. That's really good. I
That
always tell people don't pay people who profit off of you not being fixed. But in that
Exactly.
situation, you are 100% okay with like you're actually satisfied with what you do, which is amazing, honestly.
because the thing is, if you have to keep coming back to me for years and years and years, that means I'm a horrible coach. It's not designed to be
Damn.
that way. My coaching
Hmm.
program is you come every week for 3 months or you come biweekly for 6 months, and we're accomplishing the goals we set to do in the beginning when we met, and you should be good, okay? Or
Hmm.
you come back and there's other goals, there's other things, but you're not working on the same thing for all
Hmm.
that time.
Damn,
And
that's brilliant.
Maya, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't the goal of like therapy in general? It is eventually there's supposed to be a stopping point, whether whatever you guys are going to therapy for, because the goal is for you to be self sufficient.
It is. It is.
Okay.
And also, depending on, because there's many avenues to look at this. So depending on the type of trauma you have, like if you
Hmm.
have severe trauma, then going to therapy for a longer period of time, now that makes sense. If you have
Hmm.
complex trauma, it's going to take longer. Or if you have like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder,
Mm-hmm.
people who have those diagnoses, they're in therapy forever. Like that's not just something you
Yeah.
can just okay, you can be okay on your own. No, you're going to need to stay. But if it's not anything complex like that, then yeah, it's supposed to be I'm helping you, giving you tools, resources, and then you check with me like maybe once a month after that.
Mm.
Damn. This whole time I thought I could be one just off of what I say, and I realized I'm not ready. You're teaching me stuff that I thought I wouldn't need, and then I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I'm ready for the guy to be like, man, she want me to clean the dishes, and I just sit there and talk to him about that. But I'm not ready for the real stuff. Damn, you
What?
just what? I'm
JR,
This
what are
is
you talking about?
And you know what's crazy? And I'm so glad Maya's joining us because Tuesday, these men had the nerve to say that men don't need therapy. And for
Oh,
you to open your mouth and say that, and you didn't even fully understand what therapy was, now you know better.
first of all,
Take it back.
I didn't say we didn't
Take it back.
need. Actually, I did say that, but what I'm trying to say, right, is that you should go through all the ways you possibly can before you get there as a man. That's all I'm saying. Is if
and that's the problem in the community, the whole what this
Hmm.
idea that men have. And that's the reason why men are sitting with all this trauma and they're having nervous breakdowns and their bodies are literally breaking down and they're getting sick and they're
Hmm.
dying sooner than they have to because of what you just said.
and I don't disagree with that because I also believe in natural selection. And I don't promote it though. Hold on.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
promote it, Maya. I'm just saying if you're complaining and you're not trying to do anything about it and then your last resort is that you're just not understood as a person, then I completely understand going out there and talking to somebody. But if you're complaining and you just complaining to complain and you haven't done anything about it, that's where I'm like, you should try everything under the sun before you go and do this. If you're not actually feeling that way, if you're not feeling to receive that type of information, then you shouldn't be going to therapy. If you're not ready for it.
But why should therapy be the last resort though? Why should you wait until you're at your breaking point to go?
Damn, that's a good question. That's a really good question, Maya. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's some good stuff.
Wait until you're ready to just end it all and then be like, okay, let me go. Because I used to work on a crisis line. So
Mm.
I, during the
Oh,
graveyard shift from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. So I answered all the calls for the men who did what you said. They were at their breaking point, and I can't
Yeah.
say like what they had in their hands because I know we're on, But
of
anyway,
course.
they were ready to end themselves, right? With all types of things. And I had to literally talk them down because they did what you said.
All right.
See?
Well, look here, men. All right. I don't have any credentials, nor am I a trained professional. So what I say don't also reflect Life with G podcast. What I am saying though, right,
Never has. Hmm.
is that if you tried my way and it didn't work, all right, I'm not telling you to do it. So you can't sue me. All right. I feel like I got all my bases though, right? And
If
talk
JR
to an
keeps
experienced
telling y'all
person.
not to go to therapy, yes, the fuck you can, and yes, the fuck you better. That's what I'm saying. That's what
Men,
I'm
please
saying.
go to therapy. I work with couples, I really have to drill in with the men. This on the males. Okay, I have to drill with them. Please get your own individual therapist. And I always say to them, if you can get a male therapist, then get one. Sometimes. Now, I personally, I'm a female, obviously, and I have male, clients that I see, and they
Mhm.
have said to me that they love working with me and even over some men that they worked with because of maybe just my style, my approach, my accountability, just who I am, right?
Mhm.
However, there's some men, especially I would say alpha males, sometimes they need to have a man as a therapist. And that's just my opinion that sometimes. But if you have a beta male, I don't know if we want to get into the beta and alpha, right? But if you have a
Mm.
beta male, they're fine with having a, a female therapist.
Hey.
JR, you can chime in on that.
Nah, cause I feel good. I feel like I'm an alpha. I actually had a therapist, right? For reasons that I can't say. And I did have a
Mhm.
therapist, and it was not the last resort, people, and it also
Okay.
wasn't my first result. It just I had to do it for something. We're not going to get too deep into it, right? But I did have a therapist, and it just so
Mhm.
happened was to be a woman. And I remember coming back like, man, forget all that. I don't know what she's talking about. I need a guy therapist. So I went and changed it to a guy therapist. And I said the exact same reaction to him, but I was more
Of course.
receptive. I was more receptive for what he had to say compared.
So
And I
sorry.
felt like that was something deep rooted in me that I didn't like. So, of course, I just worked on myself and stopped seeing the therapist. But I'm actually about to go back soon for reasons I can't say, you know.
Well, I'm glad you're going back. I don't care why
Mhm.
you're going back. It's none of my business. Okay. I'm just glad that you're going. And if you need to see a male therapist, go see one. I mean, I
Mhm.
all I can say is I personally I love working with guys the most because just getting I would say before I became a therapist, I used to think that guys intentionally just did all different like the craziest things to women. I thought they did intentionally because they didn't care. But when I became a therapist, I realized a lot of these men are doing these things because they have so much unhealed trauma and they're suffering and they're miserable inside and they're really sad. They go home alone in their bed and they're crying and they really want to have a relationship. So now I feel bad for them and I'm not mad.
Damn.
Damn.
Did
Yeah.
that I'm out of curiosity, not to get too much in like your personal life, but did that change the way you approached dating, like at a personal level?
It did. It did. So the last 2 guys that I dated actually,
Mhm.
and I wasn't even a therapist when I was dating them. I think I was just more open to, like, wanting to understand why guys are thoughts. Really, that's what
Okay.
it is. I really
Okay.
wanted to understand why
I
guys
like
were
this. All right. What did you
and
find
so
out?
my last 2 guys that I situationships, we can't say
Mhm.
boyfriends, situationships, right? They both were millionaires. They both were highly intelligent, both business owners, okay? And they both were thoughts, big time thoughts,
Of
okay?
course.
But this is what I learned as a woman. When you see a guy who's moving like that, don't intentionally just count him out. Just get to know him and be his friend. Because when you get to know him and be his friend, you'll never know who he really is behind the thought mask.
Ooh. So we have to sneak in via the friend zone.
Wait, time out, time out. Wait, time out,
I like
time
that.
out,
No,
time out,
JR.
time out.
I like
Uh,
this.
Gee, what do you like about it?
I like
What
this,
part of that do you
huh?
like? What part of that do you
It's
like?
a girl thing.
Oh,
It's well because I agree with her. I think that makes sense. And you get in there. You got to be able to get in there.
yeah.
Then they're
They
comfortable, and then you
were
really see what they're like.
They were big teddy bears. When I see, but this is the key though. I'm the type, well, I've been abstinent for 2 years, so that's another thing, right?
Congratulations.
So, when
It's
I was
hard.
dating these 2 guys, right? This was before I was abstinent, right? So, I was
Hmm.
dating these 2 guys. The first guy, he wanted to go in the whole, relationship, sex, because that's what he's used to, all the
Yeah.
women. He's a millionaire, he's getting, like this guy, 28 years old, just, like, getting all these women, right?
Hmm.
And so it was all about sex, but when I showed him, "Look, I'm not moving like that." We got to know each other as friends for a straight year, okay? Then when I saw he didn't wanna get to know me as a friend and all he cared about was sex, I cut him off. Then when we came back, connected again, he told me, he said, "Maya, I have a brand new respect for you because I thought you were like all the other females in LA. And I realized you're not like that. You don't care how much money I have. You don't care about my cars
Hmm.
and all. You don't care." He was like,
Hmm.
"I can't treat you the same." And that's when he started taking me to really nice restaurants, start flying me out, like all these, he
Hey,
started treating me totally different. And we got to know each other. We sat down and would talk for hours and hours. And I got to know the real man behind all that hoe thing that he was, his hoish ways.
I
He
love
was a nice guy.
that. I love that. See, ladies, there's there, and you know, Jr. You bring this up often.
I was
You
waiting for
refer
it.
to it as getting them out of their hard mode.
There you
Get the
go.
man into soft mode.
There
You
you go.
gotta you gotta fuck their mind, not their bodies, ladies. Take it
Exactly.
easy.
I did that with both of the guys, and they both fell in love. That's what happened. That's how you get the
That's how
ring.
you get them.
That's how
That's
you get the ring. I get proposals all the time, but
oh
I'm,
shit.
hey, look, I'm taking it slow. But the
Hey.
point is, getting proposals isn't the issue when you move slow.
Mm. I love that.
First of all,
That's good advice, ladies. What?
wait, whoa, 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 wait a minute.
What?
She
Jared's
stole
like, no,
that
wait
from
a minute.
me.
No, no, no. Don't hold out. Don't hold out.
Yeah, she stole that from me,
It's the
Maya.
delivery.
No, wait a
That's not I. But I tell you all the time. It's the way that you say shit, though.
minute. Hmm.
And
You
she
need
had a whole story to go along with it. You didn't have no story. You just be saying shit.
G,
So,
G. Everything
what?
I'm about to say is gonna sound very familiar. Okay? I always gotta say that before I re-say something so you know I ain't playing with you. People out there, let me tell you something. Everything
Oh
Maya
my
just said,
god.
she stole from me. Even though it wasn't intentionally. All right? It was not intentional, but she stole
Oh
from me.
shit.
I truly believe in every single thing she just said. That is what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm so hard on you women, because y'all can't, not y'all, excuse me, I don't want to say y'all because we have
Mhm.
women up here. But a lot of women can't understand that very simple fact. Very
Facts.
simple fact. All right?
Hmm.
You got to make a man earn it. But the way you go about it isn't just holding on to it and waiting. You have to show him that you are actually valuable without sex.
Without sex. I lead with my personality, with my conversation. I lead with my femininity. That's what I lead with. I don't lead
Mm.
with my body. And I know everyone can't see me because, hey, you can only see me from here up. But the
Mhm.
reason why it makes it harder for me also is because I have the body of a stripper. So it's like when you see me, I'm just being honest.
What
When
you
Get
you
it.
mean by
I
see
that?
love it. I love it. Shut up. JR's about to fall in love. Y'all are gonna see him fall in love on camera. He's like, oh, she gets it. She knows it. She's got a body of a what? You go ahead, Maya.
guys see me and the first thing they think is lust, and I don't blame them. I get it. I understand why they see me that way, you know? But at the same time, that's the reason why I have to really pull back the sex because that's the first thing you see when you see me.
Mhm.
But you deeper than that. And again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm crushing hard, because that's the way G gonna try to make me sound a little bit, because I don't give compliments out, but I did give one. But you are deeper than that though. See, this is what I
Mhm.
always tell people, and I tell G this too, is
Yeah.
that everybody out here just want to be understood. That's really the biggest thing. Everybody wants to be understood. And because you're so open minded, it's probably easier for you to talk to somebody, really get to know somebody instead of just what they
Mhm.
show you and face value. And a lot of people don't. That's why I have this problem when I tell women, like, you got to make a man earn it without the sex. And every single time the response is, how do I do that? Then it's like, is that all you got to offer then?
And you know what, JR? I just want to chime in and say this. This is what I do when I do my relationship coaching. Do you know how many women come to me and they say exactly what you said? They said, how do I do that? They have
Mm.
no idea how to lead without sex because they've been leading with it for so long. And
Yes.
society teaches women if they lead with sex, they'll get the man, right? But can you keep the man? Can you actually get a ring? And also, do you want to just get the man in bed or do you want to get the man as your husband? Do you want to get him for life? Because there's a
Mm.
difference. You can get him. Sure, you can get any guy you want. But are you going to keep him? Is he going to take care of you and provide for you? Because that's different.
I love her.
I know.
Sorry, Maya.
I'm
I
saying
couldn't
y'all are
help
gonna
it.
watch him fall in
I
love
couldn't help it.
on camera right now. That's exactly what's gonna happen.
It's not
I do want to
I
tap
feel so
in with the
understood.
comments really quickly.
I just feel so
Women
understood.
understand you, JR. Women understand
Gee, I
you.
thought you were the only one who understood me, but
And it took a long time for me to get there.
it
It was
did.
a struggle.
It did.
Again,
Yeah.
because of delivery.
My, first of all, it's about you receiving it. However I deliver it, carrier pigeon, email, letter, however I deliver it, I'm trying to get you to receive it. You didn't want to receive it then, but you did. And now I'm talking to two amazing women today, and I feel good. Thank you.
I mean, hey, it is what it is. I do want to tap in with a comment. Savage Khan's in the building. What's up, Savage? He's back for more. He said, I'm just here for the comments. Don't you start. Not tonight, Savage. Andra said, yes, ma'am. Why are men thoughts? We will get into that in a minute. Rachel said, LOLG, of course. Andra said, literally just be saying shit. Ramses said, I'm sold. What's her IG? It is tagged right there. Is right under her camera. Of course, they love it. What's up, Pan African Princess? She said, very good educational podcast, and G cursing is not helping it. I apologize that you feel that way, my love. However, at Life with G podcast, we say a lot of curse words. We keep it fun, we keep it real. This is me. But I love you anyways. I appreciate the feedback. Andra said, you are. A lot of times it comes from society over sexualizing women, keeping them from wanting and looking deeper.
Whoa.
That's true.
Whoa.
Yep.
That's true.
It's not.
That
It's,
is true.
What?
And
how?
the same thing with is the same. Okay, so let me clear up first. Somebody sent in the comments, why are men thoughts? Let me
Mm-hmm.
clarify. I never said men were thoughts. I said the last two guys I dated were thoughts. And they're proud thoughts. They tell people they don't maybe not use the language, but they
Say
know
it.
they're hoes and they're for the streets and they know this. But the point is, thoughts don't have a gender. Okay, I used to have
Mm-hmm.
my little thought era. That I was just acting wild in the streets. And to me, the thing is that being a thought does not necessarily mean you're sleeping around. It's the way that you're moving. It's like, are you moving around just like really sexual? Like you're very flirtatious, you're always touching on people and flirting
Mm-hmm.
with people all the time. And it's just that's that thought vibe energy. So I think everyone is guilty of having a thought era in their life. Everyone
Um,
having you. Yes.
no. Sorry to say
No,
this.
never, JR. I don't see that. I think you're not being honest.
G,
What?
I want to ask you a question so Maya can understand.
Oh
Can
God.
men be hoes?
Yes.
Okay, so you're
How
not going
can
to
they
answer
not?
accurately.
How can they
Yes, you can.
not?
Men
I'm
can't
sorry.
be hoes. We just
Why?
can't.
And
Why?
you thought I was gonna agree to that? Did we have an agreement on
I
that?
actually thought we would. I'm sorry. I thought we would.
No, absolutely not. Hell no.
Look,
I hear
Maya,
that a lot of alpha males. They say that. But go ahead, please answer, JR. Tell me why they
bec-
can't.
so I'm going to say this. Men can't be hoes because what we're doing is hard to do, right? We look at hoes as in they're doing something that's easy, right? Giving up your sexual access is very easy for a woman because everybody wants it, right? But to be a man that can get multiple sexual partners, you're doing a lot of things right, which cannot make you a hoe or a thought or any of that. You have to be doing something right to be able to attract women, whether you understand them, whether you have the assets, the status, whether you have your God given talents to be able to do it by being tall enough and whatever it may be. Those things are all things right that we look up to. You can't be faulted by having that talent as a man because it takes hard work to get there, to get the status, to get the money, to get women in general. It's hard work. For women,
So you're
it's
trying to
easy.
say that broke guys can't be hoes because they don't have
I'm
money or
Right.
status.
Even if they're broke, they're doing something right to get multiple women. They have to be what, 6'3", 6'2", making good. Like they have to have something that's attracting women, and women are attracted by status, money.
But okay, so if they're
Hmm.
6'3",
Hmm.
they were just that's maybe just genetics, and they just show up in the room and women are falling all over them. So what are they actually doing? They're
At
just
that,
showing up.
at that again, if you're 6'3" and you're 380 pounds, it's a good chance you're not getting women. But if you're 6'3" and you're very attractive to even be there at that spot, you could be 6'3", not in VIP. You're probably not going to get the women compared to the 5'8" guy in VIP with the money and status. He's going to get more women than you. Like I said, it's just harder to get the abundance of women, to have that opportunity to get abundance of women, because that's what a hoe is, to get an abundance of the opposite sex. Really, it's for women, if you ask me. But again, it's not easy to do. So if you're respected for you get respect for doing something hard. We look up to the guy who can get multiple women. We don't look up to the girl that has multiple male partners. We don't. Men can't be hoes or thoughts.
I'm confused. Like, I know guys who are broke as hell
Hmm.
who have women and they have nothing going for them because there's
Mm-hmm.
desperate women that just want a guy who listens to them. I don't want to put my uncle
Mm-hmm.
out there, but my uncle was broke as hell and he had plenty of hoes.
Hmm.
Okay. And the only reason why
Damn,
all
Unc.
the women wanted him is because he actually sat there and listened to them. That's all he
Understood.
did. And
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
majority of
Mm-hmm.
the time, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, he's so nice." And he would just get money. They would pay his rent, buy him cars, all this stuff, and
Yep.
he had nothing
Mm-hmm.
to offer just being nice. So that's
That's
not putting in
important.
work.
But that for
That's
to
not
be
putting in
nice,
work. That's not putting in work.
to
And
understand women is very difficult. It's not easy to understand women. For him to be
he didn't
nice,
understand, he didn't understand them though. All he did was shut up and listen to them talk and yap,
uh,
and they liked it. That's it.
that's understanding
Yeah.
that women love to hear themselves talk. So
No,
sometimes you
it's
got to
not.
listen.
No.
You just shut up and listen, and then
Yes.
you'll get the panties.
First of all, I've
That's
done
all
it
he did.
before, and I didn't know that until I was like 26. All right. I didn't know that I was supposed to just listen to women. All right. So it was very difficult for me early on. Actually, it wasn't
I
because,
bet it was.
no, it wasn't that difficult, though. I had
They
other
are
stuff.
making excuses and trying to put men on a pedestal for being hoes.
No, I'm not trying to put them on a pedestal. I'm saying
You
we,
don't want to take accountability that
He's
men are
right.
hoes.
Yes, thank you.
No
And
accountability.
that's what it is. It's but
Mm-hmm.
he was honest in the beginning. He said, "I don't take
Mm-hmm.
accountability."
Yeah, he did say that. He
He
did say
did
that.
say
He
that.
did say
Even when
that.
he knows he's wrong, he'll still
Yes.
stay in the wrong, which is probably why I'm guessing, is JR single? Because any woman,
Ooh.
I don't know a healthy woman that would want to be in a relationship with a man who can't take accountability. I mean, that sounds
look,
kind of toxic.
look,
Oh
I'm
my
not
gosh.
trying to disagree with you. Okay. I'm not trying
You're
to.
not wrong, Maya. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
He's
Because I'm
single.
single as shit. Right.
Oh
Single as shit. But that's not the point. The point is,
shit.
again, us men were looked at differently when it comes to, damn it, Maya. See, I don't want to have to repeat. Okay, I'm gonna say it. To be a
Oh
hoe
God.
as a man, you would have to give out something that's valued to a high degree. That's what women do. Sexual access is very much valued. They give it out easily. We call them a hoe. That's what we call hoes. For a man, sexual value from a man is not valued from women. Women do not care about men's sexual like sexual access. Women don't care about it. It has to be the man they like, and that means you have to do something right to get them to like.
Well, that's not true because
Oh,
I know some female nymphos out there and they don't care about if they like the guy or not. They're just horny.
so the exception to the
Mm,
rule, I get that, but let's be honest. When it comes to the majority of women, they're not
Yeah.
going to just give it to anybody. He has to fit the requirements. Compared to men, if you walk up to a man, 9 times out of 10, he going to do it. More than likely, he's going to want it. And I told G this the other day. I said if I got if some random guy sent you a pic, a sexual pic, right? Random. You have no idea who it is. You're going to block that number or delete the picture and everything. But if it's a guy and he gets a random pic from some random woman, he's hitting her up. Yo, who it is? What's up? What's happening?
Some of them are doing that.
I would say majority of men would do it, is what I'm saying. I would say majority of men are like, that's why OnlyFans is so popular, because men are paying to look at sexual content that's they can't even access. Like, it's huge on a male front. Like, we care about that and we value it higher than y'all value male sexual access.
I don't know about that. I mean, as someone who worked with patients who had sex addictions, I mean, I don't know. There was women and men in those sex addicts anonymous groups.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
mm,
But again, I'm not trying to argue for the. Again, they call it a sex addiction, a
Addiction.
addiction, because it's an actual problem, which makes it rare, which means not everybody has it. I'm only talking about the generality, the majority of people, right? And I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
care though, honestly.
men are
It's not as
literally.
bad as I think it is. As far as sex addictions,
Well, I'm
it's
talking about in
not the
general
same.
of males valuing female sexual access more than women. We pay for it. Like I don't understand how much we spend our hard earned money to pay to look at it.
A lot of those men are sex addicts also.
Possibly, but
That you're
I'm not a I'm
So
not a doctor.
how does you guys over sexualizing everything and pretty much just being horny at the majority of the things? How does that make y'all not hoes?
JR just wants to make an excuse
What?
to put men on a pedestal and make it seem like they're not
That's what
hoes.
I'm saying. Like,
I'm not
No,
saying
how
that.
does that make men not hoes?
See, I don't like that people put that on men too much, though. It's like, damn, if you're not a hoe, if you're not getting the
You
women,
okay?
you're a simp. And if you are getting too much women, you're a hoe. There's no in between for us, though. It's either one or the other. Either you know what I'm
I think.
saying?
Can I say something? I think
Hmm.
that's what men are holding men accountable to. I don't think that that's something that women put on y'all. I think y'all do that amongst other men, like a, you know, like
No
whose
man
is
is
bigger
calling a nigga.
contest. You know
No
what I'm
man is
saying?
calling another
Huh?
man a hoe. No man is calling another man a hoe for having sex with multiple women. No man
No,
is
they're
doing
not
that.
calling each other hoes because you guys celebrate it. But y'all would look down to, oh, you can't get laid. You ain't getting no coochie. Like, that's what y'all would do. So
Thank
I'm
you.
saying again, it's within y'all. I'm not, if I'm interested in a man, I'm not looking at him like, when's the last time you got laid? Oh, you don't get it on a regular basis? I ain't finna give it to you. I'm not thinking about that. I'm also not thinking about how many he probably is.
Exactly
I'm
though.
chilling. And
That's
I think men also need to stay out of our business as well.
oh
You
no.
wasn't here before. I didn't even know you was on this earth.
Mm-mm.
Now I do.
No.
What we doing? Oh, okay. Because you cared about the last one. I'm not caring about them. Go.
Maya, do you think
What's the
we should
problem?
I like what you said. Do you think we should not care about a woman's past?
I don't think anyone's past, in my opinion, matters as long as we're getting an STD test. That's when the past would matter. Like we need to get that first. But after you're cleared, I'm cleared, then what you did in the past, I don't care.
I,
See?
I'm gonna let that simmer and I'm
I
gonna
like
get to the
that.
comments. I'm sorry, y'all. It was a good back and forth. So I'm sorry I missed the comments. We'll go back through. Andra said, clock the T, Maya. You are so right. Ramses said, for some, it's not an era, it's a lifestyle. He was talking about the hoe phase. Navy Blue was good. Said, men definitely can be hoes. Porn stars have multiple partners. Rachel said, JR just talking to talk. I feel like sunshine. Sunshine said just Tuesday he was 22. LOL. Yeah, you gotta stop lying about your age because now our audience doesn't know what to believe.
I
I
identify as
also don't know
22.
how old he is. Um, Ramses said, "Jr. Plead the fifth, bro. You got cooked." Rachel said, Rachel said, yeah, this is gruesome. Culture Junkie said, not true. I'm blocking her ass. He was talking about getting the news on the phone. He said he would block her. Ramses said, when they ovulating, it's whoever's closest. What? Jimmy James, what's good? Welcome in. He said, someone help JR. He's outnumbered. Stick and move, my boy. Ramses said, nah, it's too late. He walked into back-to-back haymakers. Pan African Princess said, 1,000 with Maya. Once the STD test is negative, your past is not important. That's true.
Not
And
true.
y'all should be getting checked on a regular basis.
That's not true. That's true for women, but that's not true for men.
While
We
you're still wearing condoms, I might add, while you're still wearing condoms, you're still
Yes.
protect because there's STDs you can get with condoms. Please
facts.
remember when you're
Facts.
doing the, I don't know what I can say with the other part, when you're doing foreplay, I'll say it like that because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people they'll be like, oh yeah, I use condoms, but then they do foreplay and then they don't use protection in that area and they're wondering why their tongue is okay. I'm not gonna say.
See, that's why I don't do it. See? Even
And
more.
around their
No, JR.
What? I'm just
JR,
JR.
if
saying I
JR
don't.
just said he doesn't what eat the apple
You
pie.
know,
No, I don't eat the apple
yeah, he
pie.
don't. He don't go
I
down.
think it's a wife
They
benefit only.
are. You know what? At first, when I first met you, I actually liked you. I thought you were cool. But now, I
Maya,
take it
Maya,
all.
Maya. I think it's a wife benefit only. That's why. I think I
Mm,
shouldn't just do that to anybody. I think that my
okay.
presence, I value my presence, and I think the person
Mm,
that I'm gonna share that with should earn that position in my life to be able to get all of me. And I don't think I should just give all of me to anybody. So I think it's a wife benefit. And because I am not
And
married, I am not eating no apple pies.
You
shouldn't
know what?
you refrain from sticking your one-eyed monster down somebody's throat?
Nah, dicks for everybody.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't do that.
What? What?
Well, can I just say something? I agree with JR. And the reason why I agree with him is because I would say, was it 2 years ago? We were all hanging out in the jacuzzi
Mhm.
in my building, right? And I said to all the ladies that I am not going and doing any. What's another we can say besides eating apple pie? G, help me.
Giving face.
We, but,
Okay, giving face. I want something more
yes.
creative though, but I'll say giving face for now, right?
Hmm.
So, or I was trying to do something like anyway, I'm not giving face until I'm in a committed relationship. So JR said that he's not doing it until he's married. And now I feel the same way. Now I'm abstinent until I get married. So
See, I
I mean,
we got somewhere.
that's one thing, but I feel like your motivation for it really is just like
oh
I
wait,
think
wait.
at the least you could like refrain from getting the reciprocal
I was
action
about to say,
because that's
is
just
JR
rude.
receiving? Is he receiving?
Yes, he's receiving.
Yeah, most
Yeah, he
deaf.
ain't got no problem with receiving. That's why I be talking to him like that because he ain't got no problem with receiving,
Hold
and that's
on.
not fair.
Tell me, all because I got boundaries and she don't, I'm supposed to put up her boundaries? No.
You
Oh,
see what
okay.
I'm talking about?
The question, JR, is suppose she is dating you, right? Or seeing you, because maybe you're just for the street, so you don't even date. I don't know. But the point is, suppose you're messing with the female, right? And she says, these are my boundaries. I don't go down if we're not married. And you said, me too. Are you okay with that?
Yeah. If that's
Oh, okay.
if and if I
That's
like her
fine.
too. And if I like her.
I was gonna,
Wait a minute. You just
I,
said yes, but now you're adding things.
Well, I'm saying that to me it's irrelevant. Like I'm okay with whatever you do if I don't like you. But if you're telling me something specific, like if I actually like this woman and she says that, then again, that means she showed me that she's more than just her sexual access. So that means she's more valuable. So I'm okay with have seeing that boundary and respecting that boundary.
Okay. Okay.
But if I don't like
but
her,
then you shouldn't.
brunch,
Why would you even be messing with her at all if you don't like her? It's
Thank
sex.
you.
I mean, I'm abstinent now, but if I wasn't abstinent, then it'd be
for how long, JR? How long?
how long have I been abstinent or how long am I trying to be abstinent of sex?
Wait a minute. Trying to be trying. Wait a minute. Okay, how long
It's
have
a day-to-day process for JR. It's a struggle
24
every
hours?
day, every day.
Is it 24 hours?
No, it's been 2 months.
Right.
It's been over 2 months.
Okay, 2 months for guys is still decent.
Pretty
Okay.
And I
significant, yeah.
appreciate that because it's not been easy. If I'm gonna be honest with you, though, I've been trying to figure out deeper levels of intimacy than just sexual access.
Okay, so
I'm
I
so proud
kind
of
of
you.
like JR again.
Yeah,
Working
he
my way
has his
back.
moments. He has his
Men
moments.
still can't be hoes,
He
though.
does.
I still don't believe that.
Oh my god, and he's
So yeah,
back to that. In
sorry.
that note, I will tap in back with the comments. Jimmy Jones says, so just because some men would rather pay for it than deal with everything else that comes with a relationship makes men what I'm asking. Okay, we can get into that question in just a moment. Andra said, JR, this is now the third woman to tell you that you gotta start giving head, bruh. LOL. Ramses said, don't introduce Maya to the D plus philosophy. Nope, we won't even go there. Andra said, that's why men are hoes. Pan African Princess said, it's becoming obvious why JR is single. Andra said, he's taking her to brunch. Don't listen to him, Maya. Yeah. I do want to get into Jimmy Jones' comment. He said, so just because some men would rather pay for it than deal with everything else that comes with a relationship makes men what? I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
it's I don't know. Gee, what does that make a man? If
I
you've
don't
seen
know.
it, what do you
I'm gonna
make
be.
it?
I don't know. I can't speak on that. But see, I don't think about shit like that, so I wouldn't even know what to call it.
So would you look at me if I'm like, I only pay for sex. I don't even try to deal with relationships or nothing. I just pay for access, and that's
Oh,
it.
right, there was that nugget. Pay for it. I don't like that personally. I don't like that.
That's the only advice you're giving
If
me,
you
G.
gotta pay for it, then I don't. I definitely don't want to mess with you.
Not that to
Personal
me,
opinion.
my advice. Give me advice or tell me
I'll
what you
give
think about
you.
me. Tell me what you think about me. If I'm like, I just pay for it. I don't even really want to deal with relationships, getting to
I
know
mean,
her, none of
I'd
that.
rather have a guy to pay okay, so look, so we're talking about the Maya that wasn't abstinent. Okay, so if I can go back
Yes,
and do it again, I would not mess with the guy who isn't paying for it. If I could
Ooh.
but
do
to
this
find
all
pain
again,
for it.
meaning like, okay, again, now I'm abstinent and I'm
Hmm.
Angel Maya, but prior to that,
Right.
to that, right? Now, if I would have a female talking to me and she's like, I'm struggling to pay my rent. Like I've had friends, right? I'm struggling to pay my rent. I don't have a car. I have this problem, that problem. But yet she's having sex with guys. I look at her like an idiot. Because I feel like if you do not have anything going for you, even let's say you can pay your own rent, but you're
Hmm.
struggling to pay any bills at all in your life and you're having sex with a guy who's not paying those bills, to me, that's stupid. That's just my
Damn.
opinion. That's not Coach Maya. That's personal. That's
That's
my
personal, Maya.
I would never say that to anybody in the coaching space, professional space. I would meet them where they are and I would respect them. But
How does that
personally,
work?
that's
How did?
not
Because
cool to me.
now, Jr. Hold on a second, because I just want to talk woman to woman. So how does that work? Because I've had several homegirls who will be like, "Gee, you need to make sure you get something out of it," and I've never really encountered someone that's just like, "Hey, do you want this paid? You want that paid?" I encounter the opposite. So how does that work without me feeling like I'm selling myself? I mean, I guess I am selling myself if I were to do that. But
Mm.
I view it negatively. I view it negatively. So how could I flip the mindset? How could it be positive?
I mean, honestly, it's you both are like someone said in the comments, it's a mutual transaction, whether it's money, whether it's they're paying for your dinner, they're still paying in some
Mm,
type of way, right? So with
mhm.
me personally, how I look at it now, fast forwarding, my time, my energy, my femininity, the way that I bring a man peace, that is valuable. I should not be struggling
That's true.
financially in any way. If the men that I'm just friends with, they say, Maya, I like being your friend because when I'm around you, I feel at peace. I've had thoughts say that to me. They will stay with me. I've had guys stay with me for hours, and I'm talking about thoughts. I'm talking about guys who get all types of females, okay?
Mhm.
They will talk to me for hours and just chill with me all night, not do anything because they said they feel at peace and they can talk to me in a way they can't talk to the other females. That is valuable.
Yeah, for sure. Damn. JR, stop.
Yeah,
Ooh, he got the googly eyes. Like the little cartoons where the heart eyes come out their head. He's just like
No, it's not that.
he's enamored.
I've been saying it, but I'm not a woman. And because I'm not a woman, I can't put women on game because like you said, I don't have the credentials. I don't
But to
have
be
that. But I
but
love
to
that
be
you said it cuz
fair,
it's true.
that's and I hear it and it makes sense. But when a woman says that, a lot of women get shitted on for having that mentality, feeling like, oh, what is it that y'all fellas love to say in my comment section that we just feel entitled to certain things simply because we're a woman. So I think because of that rhetoric too, some women are like, you know what, I'm not gonna ask you for nothing. We just need to get to know each other a little bit more
That's the key.
first.
G, you never
Hmm.
ask. You never ask a
You
man
just
for
get.
money. You never ever ask them for money. Those females that are out there on Instagram looking crazy in these streets talking about, "Oh, you're going to pay for my nails, you're going to pay for this. What are you going to do for me?" But first of all, those females look crazy.
They
They
do.
look like they're not ladies. And maybe that's wrong. Maybe I trigger some people, but I just have to keep it real. That's not
Mm-hmm.
lady. I've
Mm-hmm.
never asked any guy for money. Because guess what? If a man sees your value, they are going to take care of you.
That's
Period.
true.
They are. But you have to tell them in a very, very ladylike way that something's going on. Like, you can't just pretend like
Mm-hmm.
you got it. You can't be this independent woman so much that he thinks, "Oh, you're good." No. I would calmly be like, "Man, I'm just really stressed out." And you just be honest and say why you're stressed. Be like, "I feel overwhelmed. I have so much on my plate. I'm working full time." He sees that you're not lazy. He has to see that you are not a lazy woman, right? So
Mm.
you're putting in your own work, but sometimes you need help. And if he cares
Yeah.
about you, like, what do you need? I got you. Now, when you have that's my love language. My love language is acts of service. When a man says to me,
Mm.
"Maya, I got you," like, don't worry. Oh my gosh, I'm in love right there.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. I would be too. And I feel like that's a rarity. It, and I know we're talking about accountability, but we're holding all y'all accountable for your behavior. Okay. I feel
Mhm.
like in the dating world, like now, it's kind of like everybody is clocking. I don't know how to put it. Men are less willing to give from what I've seen, even on like social media, they're like, I'm not paying for this. I'm not doing this. Men want to be, I guess, cheaper, if you could say it like that. And women also are like, I'm hyper independent. Like, I'm just going to do it myself anyways. I don't need you anyways. So, in this dating climate of 2025, do you feel like it's more difficult to be able to find that balance in a relationship and have someone who's willing to help?
Wait, Maya.
No, no, it's not difficult. The issue is, again, accountability. It's the women. Stop acting like you got it.
Ah,
Stop acting like you're independent women all the time and then
Mm,
complain how a man doesn't want to do nothing. They're not going to do anything for a woman who's walking around saying they got it. Hello? Ding ding, light bulb going off. Like, stop acting like you got your shit together. I
yeah.
have a lot of male friends, and the one thing they constantly say to me is, "Maya, you are so independent. You have everything together, which is why I never offer help to you."
Maya, let me tell you something real quick. All right.
Mhm.
That was beautiful. That was so beautiful. Because I too was going to blame women, and I love it. I love
Oh
it.
my
It's the
gosh.
No, it's the truth because women are like, look, they'll say this, they'll say, "It's so hard finding a guy who wants to take care of me. They always want to go 50-50." That's not true. You're walking around accepting 50-50. You're walking around leading with all your degrees, all your accomplishments. "Oh, I did this at my job. I have this, I have this." You're leading with all the things you can do for yourself. Why?
Hmm.
A man's gonna think you don't need him. Now,
Facts.
if you lead with your femininity and you
Oh,
say, "I just love, taking care of my man. I love cooking. I love giving my man back massages." You make that man feel at peace and you make him feel like a king. His wallet will literally just fall out. Like, "What do you need?" Like, "I got you. Like, don't worry about it."
Hmm.
He's gonna run to take care of you because you're putting yourself of value in his life. Because most women aren't acting like that. Most women are like, "Are you gonna get my hair done, my nails done? Like, oh, you're not doing this. Oh, you're not taking me this and that's right. You're not taking me to Mastro's, like out here in LA. You're not taking me to Mastro's." Or start naming all these
Yeah.
fancy restaurants. No man who has value for himself wants to feel used.
Hmm.
Jesus. First of all,
Yeah, are you
I
gonna have
gotta
a
jump
heart
in.
attack over there? Like,
I
did
just,
somebody get the
you understand.
pacemaker?
I
He keeps
preached
grabbing
this.
his chest and shit. Like, what?
I just preached the same thing yesterday. I really did. I preached the same thing yesterday. Is that a lot of women don't put men in their masculine form. They really don't. That is when I tell like people that men want to protect women, want to provide for women. A lot of
Mhm.
times, if you find a man that is not doing that, it is because you have not put him or made him feel safe enough to be in his most extreme masculine form. And when I mean safe, as in what she just said, we use that as a defense to not be taken advantage of, not be used. And it's absolutely true because a lot of these women will come and say, I got my own shit. And in us as a man, we hear that and we're like, you're trying to compete with my masculinity. And
Yes,
don't you try to compete with my masculinity because I'm going to go ahead and just call you bluff.
that
Yeah.
part. I couldn't have said it better.
Oh, you
That
did.
is the thing. I just don't understand why last year I was in my building. They
Mm-hmm.
had this beautiful, I can't wait. This Valentine's Day coming up. My building throws all these parties. So last year on
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day, they had champagne, chocolate covered strawberries, all these things. And there was
Ooh.
all these women gathered on the couch. All it's probably like 10, 15 of them, all sitting alone. And you know what they were doing? I just did a video about this on my Instagram. They were all talking about men ain't shit, they're cheaters, they're liars.
Mm-hmm.
And they
Mm-hmm.
wonder why they don't have a man. It's the mindset.
But
And these
It is the
oh,
mind but it don't help that a lot of them be doing a lot of stupid mess. But I agree, we gotta have an open mind. Not everybody is like this. There are good men. There are good women. Just gotta
yeah.
find them.
And there are a lot of women out there. Well, let me just say, I know personally, I have met females that have men in their life that make 6, 7 figures or good men. They're always at home.
Mm-hmm.
They go to work or they work from home. So they're always home working, right? And these females are out there cheating on them, trying to
Mm.
find the next come up. So when females are always talking about men cheat, they lie, and do all that. That's the thing that irks me. That women are not holding themselves accountable for being thoughts themselves. They're not holding themselves accountable and they're putting it on men and say men are always cheating and lying. No, you're out here doing the same thing.
Looking for the next. Yeah.
mm. But I still blame us.
Yeah.
Not that I blame, because I don't want to say blame, but I think a lot of men we structured it the date. I do believe because men are in charge of relationships. I believe they're responsible for relationships. We've
Mhm.
structured the relationship that way now more, which is, saying I'm better than the next one. It's a competition. And we force that type of rhetoric onto women, and how their mindset is to find the best, that they can find. Even they have a good man, they want the best man. And we force that as men to sit there and say, well, I'm better, I'm better, I'm better. And I think we really did put that into play, which is why women are out here exercising their options.
But then what at that point doesn't it come down to like what is that person's motivation for dating? Because I feel like a lot of women who do that, their motivation is for that. Okay, like I want this type of lifestyle, I want this type of aesthetic, so I'm gonna go up, up, up in a way. Versus a woman who's actually intentionally trying to find a good partner. I think that in that case it's a little different. No.
No,
No
I agree.
No woman with self-respect is gonna have a good man. First of all, I'm talking about someone I personally know. Okay,
Oh.
their man had no kids. Now this person had several kids, several baby daddies. Right? This guy had no
Mm,
kids, made really good money, stayed home all the time, and that person was cheating on that man. So I feel that at the end of the day, if a woman values what she has and she's going into the relationship with the intention to have a healthy relationship, a good
mm-hmm.
partner, she's not going to be out there looking for the next big thing or better thing. Like, I
Right.
can't respect any woman who does that. There's no excuse for that. There
Yeah.
really isn't.
I mean,
I
no,
agree.
I agree too. Though it's just those women. I mean, but that's why I say when I talk about a woman's past, like, oh, it doesn't matter when you have a test after the test. But in my mind, I'm like, a lot of women you can see tendencies that came from their past. Could be trauma, could be
Yeah.
whatever it may be, but you can see those tendencies. So as a man who cares about a woman's past, you should really take those
Mhm.
into account compared to a woman they really care about a man's future, you should really take that into account when you're dating off of potential. So that's kind of why I look at it. Like it's very important to really look at your partner and know them.
So do you not feel like someone can be a hoe previously and then change their mindset? So you don't believe that the phase like ever ends?
It's not that I believe that it doesn't end. It's just that I would have to take the precautions regardless, is what I'm saying. I would have to take precaution. I would have to make sure
So
in certain aspects of how I control my relationship.
so I think we asked this earlier, but I don't think we really asked it like that directly. JR, are you asking women for their body count?
Maya, don't you laugh at that. Maya, don't you laugh at that. Don't you laugh at that. G,
That's a
no.
serious question.
I am not asking. I would tell men, do not ask your woman of her body count
Do it.
because you will be hurt no matter how much it is. I don't care what you
And then
say.
some won't believe it anyway. They won't believe
All
if you
right.
They
tell
They
them.
won't.
never believe it
They won't.
anyways.
Well, let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you something. I talked to a girl. I was like, "Yo, you doing too much, right?" She was a homegirl, right? Not. I was not sexually active with this girl. I said, "You're doing too much. You need to slow down." She said, "I'm not even like that. I'm really innocent." And I, again, as a homegirl, I can ask her. I was like, how many men have you been with? She was like, "I've only been with 5 men." Mind you, she was my roommate. I've already seen 9 to 10 different men come through already. So
How you know exactly what was done? They could have just been
no, no, no,
talking.
no. So I confronted her and I said, "Yo, I've already seen multiple men come through." And she said, "Well, I don't count it if it was just this, or I don't count it if we weren't in a relationship, or I don't count it if it's all
What?
these." I'm telling you,
You
Oh,
got
oh, oh, this is a good question. Maya, what is your opinion on are there any bodies that you can exclude from the count?
no, no,
zero.
Okay.
no. If
I've
you've been
heard
with
some
guys,
people are like he said, I'm not gonna count it if it was this, or if it was between this age and this age, I'm not gonna count it.
no, I mean the only time I wouldn't count is if you're talking about someone being forced. Now that's totally different.
Right.
You
Right,
know,
right, of
right? But if
course.
you willingly did something, then yeah, you're counting all that. Like especially I have friends that are all into that whole poly lifestyle, so they're having all types of
Mm,
orgies
mhm,
and
mhm,
everything
mhm.
like that. You have to count all them. You have to
What
have all that
about
in the room.
okay, because fellas do this all the time. They'll count it if it's actual like penetration, but if it's just oral sex, they won't count it as a body.
Yeah, I wouldn't count oral though. I
I
You
would if
personally
you a
wouldn't?
woman.
no. If it's penetration, I'm counting. But if it's oral, because if we're counting oral, the guys that gave me oral, I'd have a large number. Now that just sounds really slutty what I just said. But I'm just keeping it real.
I love
I'm keeping it real because I used to
her.
I used to be really bad. I used to be like, look, I'm sitting on faces and I'm like deuces. Bye. I was savage. I was savage.
She said
Yes,
what she said.
and I respect it.
JR just fell more in love.
For what? Sitting on face? Come on now. First
I
of
do,
all,
I do,
don't you
cause,
start with me.
cause, actually, yeah, real men eat the. Anyways, I do want to tap into the comments. Pan African Princess said, loving personal Maya versus professional Maya, lol. Andra said, but you can't hold the new person to the negative of the past person. That's true. Pan
Mhm.
African Princess also said, so many kind, loving, honest men. I've never been cheated on, have dated amazing men, and have a loving, safe father and brother. Good men are everywhere. I
Mhm.
love that. Culture Junkie said, say she only F4 to 5, so you know you got to multiply by 3. I don't. Why do y'all do that? Well,
Because
you
of,
know what? I
of
can't even
that.
say that because if a man tells me, "Oh yeah, I only had sex with like 7 women," I'll be like, "Oh, sure you did,
He
sure."
probably being
I mean,
honest.
remember it doesn't matter.
He probably. I'm just saying he
Remember
probably being honest. It does matter for a
You think
man.
I mean, this is how I feel. Again, is if we're going to get our STD test and it comes back clean, I don't
you're
care
fine?
about
Yeah,
why does it matter who you're with? As long
Experience.
as you're not bringing anything to
I'm.
me.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Uh oh.
I've heard some people have some pretty like. out there numbers. And in those cases, then I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think I would feel insecure if you've been with so many women. How do I match up, like performance wise? Or like there's so many comparisons then in the man's mind, possibly. And then how is he going to be satisfied with this as the end all be all when he done had 85? You're probably going to want to shoot for past 100 at that point.
For what
So
she
Yeah,
said.
in that range, I'm kind of like,
but
ugh,
when you're not leading with sex, that's not
Hmm.
the reason why he wants you anyway.
Facts.
that's
So
true.
I personally, I mean, just to be transparent, I know that I'm not doing any tricks. Like when I was having sex, I would just lay there, and I'm just being honest with you.
Oh my
I
God.
That's
Just
all
a
I
pillow
did.
princess.
Yes, thank you, G. I was a pillow
Yeah.
princess, and
We
I
love
never
pillow princesses
No,
at
we
Love and
don't.
G podcast.
No, we don't.
We
never got.
support pillow. Every women deserve to be a pillow princess at least some of the time, at least half of the time.
I'm not celebrating it. I think it's actually bad that I did that. Okay, I just didn't know what to do. Okay, this is the thing. Never got one complaint, and I got stalkers. So obviously that's not going to keep a man away, because
Right.
if you're leading with something of value, he's going to teach you what to do, or he's just going to put you in the position he wants you in, which is what they did.
We're
So
okay with that.
there would be no fear or hesitation if a man were to come to you and say, I've slept with not you didn't ask, but he just casually drops, hey, I just want to let you know STD test is clean. I've slept with 97 women.
I would prefer not to know that. I mean, but if he told me that, I mean, I'm just gonna pray about it, because that's really. I mean, what am I gonna do if I love him? He's a good man. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to just delete that from my mind. I'd rather not know, though. I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I
Wait,
just
time
sometimes
out.
want
it's better to not
to.
know. Just omit it,
Wait, time out.
I
fellas.
don't
Just
Time out.
omit
know.
it. This is why that question shouldn't happen. And I hate that it's become a thing where people are like, what's your body count? Don't do that.
I want to ask y'all a question real quick, right? Theoretically, good looking guy, normal guy, doesn't start having sex until the age of 20, right? Do you think he can find one person to have sex with in a month? He tried real hard, day naps and all that, not pay for it, goes out to the club every weekend, so it's 4 times that month. Do you think he could find one woman to have sex with?
Why couldn't he? How does he look?
I'm just saying he's normal, average, good looking guy. Let's say he's 6 foot straight, or let's say average height, 5'8". You know what I'm saying? Um, Normal
He has
build,
personality.
good personality, normal. Like if he
Why
took
couldn't,
30 days.
why couldn't he find anyone?
So he could. You would assume a man could at least find one woman if he's trying
Yeah,
hard, looks normal, like average guy, makes average money,
yeah,
all that. He could find at least one woman to have sex with in 30
of
days.
course. Yeah, of course.
So that would make it 12 women in a year. Let's say he starts at 20. Let's say he's 25. That would be 60 women, and it would be what y'all would consider, well, yeah, I mean, of course he could find one woman in 30 days. Like,
Hmm.
that would be normal. That's 60 women in 5 years. If he's only about his money, trying to get his money up, but he's also trying to be sexually active. So that would mean at the age of 30, he would hit about 120 women.
Ugh.
But again, it would be nothing because you one woman every 30 days, really trying hard.
Are
I'm just
you
saying.
trying to tell us that a man's body count on average is probably at whatever age you're trying to add up to over 100 bodies?
What I'm saying is if a man was trying hard to get sex and not be in relationships by the age of 30 from 20, and men start way earlier than that, I'm not surprised at some of these body counts sometimes that if it takes
I
30 days,
know.
because I do believe getting a woman is not easy, but 30 days to find one woman to have sex with, I think it's way more
I
like
just
probable, and his body count would be high. I'm just assuming. I tell men they need to get to 50 bodies to actually understand women. You've dealt with women, dated women.
Oh my gosh, JR, you're losing points again. So
Maya,
you're giving
how?
out this
it's
unearned
ridiculous.
advice. You need to get to 50.
Women like experience. Do you not?
What's the point? And
I know, okay, there is some guys I messed with that were thoughts and they were horrible in bed. And I'm sure they surpassed 50.
That's a possibility.
You can
yeah,
have sex with a
quantity
lot of
doesn't equal quality. Quantity does
yeah.
not equal quality at all.
I'm not saying that.
You have sex with a whole bunch of females doesn't mean you know what you're doing in bed. Doesn't even make sense to
I'm
me.
only talking
How
about
does
the
that
average person. The average person's gonna learn women completely by trying to deal. But when you get to like 50,
how is that true when every single woman you sleep with is completely different? Which is my
Right.
ex thought the same exact thing you did, which is when I told him that he was horrible in bed, he got very offended and he said, "No woman has ever said that to me. I don't
see,
understand." And I
Listen.
said, "Because you're judging the past women you're with me and thinking if you
Yep.
do what you did with them, it's going to work with me. And I'm not every other female. And no female is the same as the next woman.
and you
So
were
what you just
probably and you taught him something. You taught him
yeah.
something.
And he said he didn't have sex for a while and he couldn't get hard.
But
So
what number were
Good
you? Were you number
job.
50?
Good
Because if you were
job.
number 50, you might
Yeah.
have taught him some more experience. Because
Do
I
you feel
agree
like
with
you
you.
have to penetrate a woman in order to understand her better?
I'm just saying when you get to the end goal, which is a lot of men's goal, is to get sexual access from a woman. When you get to that end goal, you pretty much had to do everything you possibly can to be attractive to a woman. And because all women are different, when you deal with 50 women, you'll understand how women operate at a high standard. Like a lot of these women are similar, and a lot of these women are very different, different ways. You're gonna understand how women operate when you get to 50 bodies as a man. You will.
JR, who gave you this advice?
I'm
I
pretty
just
sure
always
he
thought
thought
this
of it
way. When
himself.
women sit there
I
and say I
knew
want
it.
experience, when women say I want experience, all this experience, yada yada yada, I want a man to be able to cater to me. I want a man to understand me. I want a man to listen to me, and all this stuff. I would tell them I could never have done that when I was younger and inexperienced until I dated multiple women and had like actually got to the finish line with multiple women, and woman did tell me like, yo, like your sex is subpar. When like they gave me that kind of stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like 20 years old, so that was like 2 years ago type shit. You know what I'm saying? Either or, Maya, don't judge me. We listen and we don't judge. I'm just saying that you gain experience as a man and women say they want experience. I just think it's a win-win.
You can have sex with 50 women and still suck in bed to the woman who does not like what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? You could be amazing to
Yeah.
all 50 women and get to 51 and she'll be like your sex was horrible.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
if 49 other women said it's good, then you know it's just her. You're going to continue to do the same thing because you've
Okay, well
already done
suppose
it.
after that every other woman thinks you're horrible. I mean,
Oh
you
shit.
can't judge other women one or even if, on average, okay, say on average the women I'm sleeping with say I'm good in bed. Okay, well, on average those women could be telling you the truth and they could actually be lying because if you do surveys and studies, the majority of women are
Lie.
not honest to their sexual partners. They're not honest. And many a times when I do couples therapy, the majority of the liars who are the people who are lying about sex are the women. They're acting like it's good. And I had a situation where a man was like, "Oh my gosh," because the woman finally told him like, "Look,
Damn.
I've never
Damn.
enjoyed myself in 10 years."
Damn.
We gotta
Okay?
stop suffering in silence, ladies.
We're
And
suffering
we
in
gotta
well,
hold
not me.
ourselves accountable for
I got
that.
I gotta say, if a guy, I will stop in the middle of sex and be like, "This shit's whack." Okay, and I've done that on numerous times. Okay, so but the majority of females, the average females out here, they are not gonna be like me. They're not gonna tell
I'm
you.
not. I'm not. But
I'm
I
not,
will say it
but
in an out. See, I like to give the truth with a little bit of sugar on top. That way it's easier to take down. You know what I'm saying? So I won't say nothing that time, but then I might just be like, you know what I really like in bed? I've just had this fantasy. And then if he's still not getting it after a while, I'm like, hey, like, so why don't we do that? Why haven't we tried that? And then after that, basura. You know what to do with them, ladies. Take them to the trash. But what, JR?
And that's the thing. That's the reason why I don't do it that way. I'm just like, look, if it's
Right.
whack, I'm gonna be
It
like,
takes a
look,
while.
everything is whack right now, and I'm gonna get up and leave. Like I have said that to guys. I would say I'm
Oh my
getting up and
gosh.
leaving because this is boring. I can't take this anymore.
Have
Like,
you have you never been like so attracted to the man that you're like, "Ah, I just want to give it one more chance just in case."
not yes, and I still told him he was horrible in bed. But I told him I would give him another chance because I actually liked him, but I still told him it
Oh
was horrible.
man.
Wait, no, say that again.
Oh
Say that last part.
man.
Say that last
And
part one
he
more
told
time.
me that was horrible too. He said he was like, "Well, you're not doing anything either. You're just laying there." And I was like, "Exactly. We're both whack. Like we're both horrible. So we're not compatible because you can't help me
I
and I
love
can't help
it.
you."
Hold on. But
She said, "I'm trying to let you take control."
can you repeat
Yeah,
that last part, please? I just need the viewers to really hear
what
that last
part?
part. That
Oh, which
part where you
one?
said um you gave him another shot because you liked him. I just want to hear that.
I did. I gave him another shot because I liked him, but that would be with any guy. Whether first of all, I don't sleep with guys I don't like. That's number one. I'm not sleeping with you if I don't like you. So everyone I have slept with, I like them. I build friendships before I have slept with any guy. And most of the time, my friendships, I'm talking about a minimum of 8 to 10 months. I'll get to know a guy as a friend before I sleep with them.
So you give
And when
all of
I
them second chances?
most of them were whack. So yeah, I gave them. But then again, who am I to judge? Because I'm just laying there too. So I'm just as bad.
G, I know you don't want to hear it.
But I'm taking accountability though. I'm
What?
taking
What,
accountability.
Jr.? What?
I know you don't want to hear it. But that's exactly what D plus is. I'm sorry, I had to. It is exactly
What?
what it
That is.
is. If
You
she
told
likes
me you
you,
didn't want me to bring up D plus
I
anymore
know.
because you didn't want to have to explain
But she
it.
said it.
But now you're gonna have to explain it.
I'm not gonna explain it. You could explain it. But I'm saying that's what
That's
it
the fucking
is.
bull. Just like a man, not taking accountability. You said not to bring it up, then you bring it up. Now I gotta explain it for you.
I'm
You put it
sorry.
on the
Well,
woman.
You heard
I'm taking
her.
Typical.
Did
you
that not
said.
trigger?
Five minutes. It's 5 minutes. The
Okay.
entire session, 5 minutes, two positions. And he doesn't really like you, but the girl likes him enough that that somehow is going to satisfy her. 5 minutes, two positions. He's done. Then he takes you to brunch in the morning, and then you get ghosted. I don't believe you actually do this,
Yeah, I do.
to be fair.
No,
There's
it's
no
D plus.
way you're bragging about the fact that you dish out 5 minutes in two
It's not about
positions.
bragging. It's about learning. It's about learning exactly what she said. That if a woman actually likes you, if she likes you, she'll be back. She'll be back because it's more than sexual access for women. So stop out here trying to give her A plus and try to get her
No,
hooked. Stop it.
this is the thing. On average, because society makes well, okay, let me say this. Society promotes women being more emotional. That's why. But
Mhm.
all women are not more emotional. There's women that have mindsets where they're just there to just have sex and that's it. And they don't care about commitments, relationships. I used to just do friends with benefits and that's all I cared about,
Mm.
So I didn't get attached.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, in
So
that case, then I would say have your fun. If there's no real attachment, it's no real responsibilities, then have your fun
yeah.
how it would be. That's what I actually would consider a female friend. I don't have any female friends because, no offense, G, I'm not trying to say you're not my
What the
friend.
fuck?
G, to be my friend, there's requirements. You have to help me with my stroke game. So you're
Um,
not my
you
friend.
know what? You just lost another full star from me,
God
JR.
dang, Maya,
I gave you
how?
2 stars. Now
Who
you're
the fuck?
at JR, you really need to go to therapy ASAP. I'm sorry. I don't
I'm telling you, I've been telling him. Cause
like
what?
What?
but JR, I'm sorry. You have some serious concerns. And I'm gonna say it
Thank
like that.
you.
How?
Thank you.
I'm so confused.
I to be fair, I think he has a lot of female friends. He's just in denial. He's in denial.
No, I don't.
Is he
I
That's
don't
just
what
think.
it is.
is he
No.
putting on a front G in front of everyone?
It's not it like he will genuinely you guys on camera, off camera, it's the same person. When I call and I just chit chat, I'm his friend, but he's in denial, and he will still tell me on a regular day, on a Wednesday, we're not friends, and hang up the phone. But he's my friend. He's just in denial.
G,
Sorry, Jr. I'm
G,
JR,
sorry.
you really have some serious concerns.
G is the closest thing to a female friend that I would consider. She's the closest thing. But I cannot give her that title because I have requirements for it. Respect my boundaries, please. To be
No, trust me.
just that's
That
all.
boundary will be
Well,
respected.
that's
Trust
and that's
me.
and
I do want
and
to.
I've not offered or asked. I'm just saying,
No, 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 no,
as
no,
a woman
no.
to be my friend, she has to help me with my stroke game.
That's
But because
also
I'm
not.
abstinent, no woman can be my friend right now. Sorry.
Oh Lord, goodness gracious.
I'm sorry.
See, these are the type of men I love putting on my couch and having these deep conversations to get inside of their brain to see what animals are running around and doing all types of craziness inside of there because it's like,
Oh my
what is up
god.
there? What
It's a
is
Don't
lot.
nobody know. Don't
It's a
nobody know.
lot.
I do want to tap into the comments really quickly. Andra said he likes to talk so much you never know what parts of what he is saying are true or what is lies. That's true. Jimmy James said, JR, throw the damn towel. Throw in the towel. They're giving you all the time.
I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on. I don't
This
understand
has
what's
been
going on.
fun. I do want to take a brief step back to the accountability because I did have a question about it. Is someone not wanting to take accountability if they are just dead fast? I'm not gonna do it. Is that something that a partner should break up with you for?
honestly, you have to ask yourself the question, do you feel you have a future with someone who cannot take accountability for what they do? That's really a personal question. If that's the kind of relationship you want to be in, then you have to ask yourself, is that really healthy?
Jr. Before you get done being abstinent and when you go to find a partner, you're really going to have to work on your accountability skills because this episode has shown us a lot. So now I'm concerned for you.
Yeah, it's shown me that women can't handle the truth. Okay, that's what it's shown me. Men can't be hoes. We can't. We just
Oh
can't
my,
do it.
he's back to this. Y'all, he's just punching the air right now because he lost that fight like 30 minutes ago.
Taking accountability as a man is not bad, but again, just be aware how you're being viewed in general. And that's anything you do. Just make sure you're aware of how you're being viewed because it does matter. That's all.
JR, I think that there's a lot of hurt that has happened, and this sounds and comes off as a trauma response because you said this several times when you said how women, they expect you to be a certain way, and I feel that this is your personal lived experience, and so now that's why you're speaking on it, and that's okay. I can notice it, right? I see what's happening. However, at the end of the day, as long as you know that that's a trauma response.
So I do disagree with it, but I do understand where you're coming from because my mindset has always been this way for a long time, and people will always say it's because I'm hurt. Right now, you are
Mm,
absolutely true when you're saying that it's not really understood by the masses. You didn't say that
mhm,
exactly, but that's how you're like putting it out in a way. I've always thought, my father always told me when I was young, and it never made
mhm,
sense to me until I got older and dealt with women, but he used to tell me that as a man, you're brought up on how to treat a woman, but not what to expect from a woman. And as a woman, you're brought up on what to expect from a man, but not how to treat a man. And these things must be learned in an aspect, right? So because of that, I went through deep learning and deep education and deep just processing how things work. And then that's what came to me here in this type of figure, but not because a woman hurt me or because My mother wasn't there or something. You know what I'm saying? It's just how I understand how life works. This produced the most results. And that's why I think this way.
Mm. Well, a trauma response doesn't necessarily mean someone hurt you. However, it could also have to do with lived experiences. And from what your dad said to you, it obviously made a big impact in your thought process.
Then yeah,
So it did
he hurt me.
affect you. That affected you.
Yeah, for sure. No,
So
you're absolutely right.
uh,
Damn.
you need a hug, JR, for real.
Come hug
Like
me.
seriously.
I mean,
Oh,
no.
I could give you a hug. I would.
wow.
Church hug though. I'd give you a church
A
hug.
church
That's
hug?
a church hug. Yeah.
See, you know what? I can respect that. I can respect that.
He's-
But I have to decline church hugs too because of my abstinence.
Exactly. I don't want you to get excited or anything.
Exactly,
oh my
exactly. Because of my abstinence, I have to decline church hugs.
Lord
Yeah.
have mercy. JR, I don't know.
An air hug.
An air
That's what I'll
hug, I can rock
yeah.
with that.
Oh my goodness. Well, Maya, what is I guess I have one last question because I know we've gone a little bit longer, but this has been a great conversation. You've been an amazing guest.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you joining us. How would you give how do I want to word this? What advice would you give to our audience about how they can deal with a partner who's refusing to take accountability? What are some tips that they can use in that relationship?
Well, this is the thing. Again, I don't give advice. However, if one of my clients came to me and said, Maya, I don't know what to do, my partner is refusing to take accountability, I would then turn it back on them in order for them to take accountability. Because at the end of the day, we can only do or allow what it is that how can I word this? And I'm trying to say it right. People will do to us what we allow them to do.
Mhm.
So we have to take our own accountability. So if I was in that
Mm.
situation and my partner wasn't taking accountability, then I have to focus on myself and say, Maya, why are you staying with someone who is not holding themselves accountable? Why do you feel that you don't deserve better than this? So I would turn it
Mm.
back to my client and ask them, do you feel that you don't deserve someone who would hold themselves accountable? Do you feel that that's a part of a relationship that is important to you? And if you do, why are you still in this relationship if that's important to you? Do you not value yourself enough to believe that you deserve better?
Mm. I love that.
Mhm.
Y'all be sure to tap into the comments if you have any last questions for Miss Maya JR. You already know what time it is, sir. It's final thoughts.
All right, G. You know what time it is.
It's high noon.
Look here, people. It's Thursday. You feel me? And what we learned today, specifically me, is that it's not always about accountability, right? But it is about understanding your partner, right? For a lot of y'all that's going out there to get in a relationship for relationship goals, or going out there thinking that the other person is only good in your life in this one aspect, togetherness is so much more than that. Finding your significant other is so much more than that. We are humans and there's 8 billion, is it billion? People on this planet. And a lot of people just want to be understood in who they are. And if you're not willing to do that, then you are the problem. When you get in that relationship, make sure you put your everything into it. But it's not just the physical, it's also the mental and the emotional. I love y'all. Don't send nudes.
Oh, shit. Thank you, JR, for those final thoughts. Always provoking, per usual. And Maya, what are your final thoughts for our audience tonight?
My final thought is no matter where you started, that doesn't mean you have to end the same way.
Mm.
So if you feel like right now you're tired of living the life that you're living, or you're tired of waking up and not feeling fulfilled and you're not living your best life, start today to start your healing process, because it's never too late. As long as you have breath in your body, you have another day to make the next day even better than the last. So take accountability for yourself, know that you deserve better, and start your healing journey.
I love that. That was so beautiful. You guys, I had a great time. Thank you guys for tapping into the chat. Maya, thank you so much for joining us. JR, thank you for being JR. I think they really took the words out of my mouth. I really can't think of anything to add on to that, but I do have a special announcement. Life with G podcast is going international, baby. So we are doing a special exclusive live Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We are having guest Josie come from London, okay, because of the time difference. That's why we're doing it on Sunday. So y'all be sure to show her a warm welcome on Sunday. We're branching out. Thank you guys so much for the support. And if anybody tells you that you can't be accountable, yes, the fuck you can, and yes, the fuck you better. Besos and blessings. See y'all Sunday.